such an asshole!
AssholeConsulting.com. We have a Clarey test request on two individuals, Peter Thiel and Genesis P-Orridge. It's not porridge, it's P-Orridge, born Neil Andrew Megson. Hey Aaron, so far I appreciate your advice, videos on finance and lifestyle. How much do you charge for a Clarey test on Peter Thiel and Genesis P-Orridge, born Neil Andrew Megson? I view Peter Thiel as a remarkable exception amongst Silicon Valley technology utopians, as he brought down the liberal media outlet Gawker, supported Donald Trump during the last U.S. presidential election, and has a critical stance towards political correctness and multiculturalism. I also think he's gay. I'm not sure, but I do believe he may have come out as gay. As a contrast, the industrial music pioneer Genesis P-Orridge appears to be the typical liberal fuck-up. Well, if he or she is making money, because I don't know what Genesis is, male or female, I wouldn't necessarily say fuck up, but typical liberal fuck. Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to your response. Best regards, Max. All right, so let's take a look. And while I'm looking these people up, remember the Clarey test is a 4-question test that we use, or I use anyway, to determine, but the rest of you should use to determine whether or not somebody should run for public office. And it's, do you come from money? Did you major in stupid shit? Have you ever worked in the real world? And what are you currently doing now? And you can kind of guess where my answers go. If you answer in the negatory, meaning negative, not necessarily no, like bad. If you answer badly, like you're a spoiled fuck, you majored in stupid shit, you've never worked a day in your life, and what are you doing now? You're a retired, non-profit fuck. Hey, you're a Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, George Bush, and you get a score of 4, and that's very bad. And you should not run for office. And I don't want to have a beer with you. If you're like gangsters, like the old school gangsters, not the ones holding 9mm like this and shooting and hitting nothing, except innocent standard buyers. Where's he going with that? The old school gangsters, like now that I'm in Chicago, Al Capone, all those guys get 0 points. Eagle Scouts, a lot of those guys get Rex Tillerson, Eagle Scout, 0 points. And other upstanding men. The guitarist for Pantera, I believe, or Slayer. It was Slayer. He's very interesting. He got 0 points. Ben Carson got 0 points. So some really interesting folk. Let's look at Peter Thiel. I think this guy might come in from, he came from money. So, born 1967. Entrepreneur, capital ventures. He was born in Frankfurt. Oh, wie geht's, mein Freund? Was ist los? Wo ist die schönes Fräuleins? Moved with his family to the United States as an infant and spent a portion of his upbringing in Africa before returning to the United States. All right, sounds like his parents got a lot of money. He studied philosophy, boo, at Stanford University, graduated with a BA in 1989. Then went to law school, boo, got his law degree in 1992. After work, he was a judicial clerk for Judge James Edmondson, a securities lawyer for Solomon Connor, speechwriter for Secretary of Education William Bennett, as a derivatives trader at Credit Suisse, First Boston, prior to founding Thiel Capital in 1996. All right, I don't know yet, but if he went the immediate political route, and then also he just founded, a 28, a venture capital group, where the fucking money come from? I'm betting he comes from a fair amount of money. But he does have real-world working experience. We all know he's an entrepreneur and a hustler. We know that he's continuing to work. So we know for those two answers, he gets 0 points. He does have a real job. He does have real-world working experience. He's currently working now. So it's really going to boil down to, did he come from money? Because we already know he majored in stupid shit. It could be like Mark Leonis, spoiled little rich kid from Miami, Florida, was it? Majored in stupid crap, and then all of a sudden started working hard and kicking ass and grew up. Early life. Does he come from money? To Suzanne and Klaus Friedrich Thiel. Family migrated to the United States, lived in Cletus, and Klaus worked as a chemical engineer and then worked for various mining companies, which caused an iterate upbringing for Thiel and his younger brother, Patrick. Thiel's mother was a naturalized citizen before Thiel's in South Africa. West South Africa. Had to change elementary schools. Played Dungeons and Dragons. There we go, my buddy. Education. Excelled in mathematics. Read Ayn Rand. Admired optimism, anti-communism. Alright, he did come from money. They major stupid stuff. That was basically the only thing we had to answer. Did he come from money? Yes, he gets a point. Did he major in stupid shit? Yes, he majored in stupid shit. Does he have real world working experience? Yes, you don't get a point for that. And what are you currently doing now? He's currently working. He's not going out there parasiting, asking for other people's money. 2 out of 4, very average, not bad. One of which he doesn't control, but that's not what the Clarey test is here for. It's not a meritocratic test. It's just whether we should trust you test. So he gets a 2. Not that bad. Especially for somebody coming from money. Would I have a beer with him? Absolutely. For someone to grow up in roughly my generation and still come out a Reaganite and to have pretty easy life, dad's engineer, you get to go travel all over the place. I would still like to have a beer with this individual and understand there's levels of having beer. There's beers where we have regular conversation. There's beers where I would shut the fuck up and listen to what he has to say because he's much more intelligent than me or she's much more intelligent than me. And pure Thiel would be one of those where I shut the fuck up and listen. Because this guy, cute as my test is, and valuable as my test is, it doesn't account for the fact that some people just decide to exercise true independence and become really kick-ass individuals. There's some people that are just, like that Mark Lemonis. I would love to talk to that dude, the guy in charge of the Prophet, even though he sounded like he was a spoiled little brat. It's the actions that he took later on as an adult where I'm like, okay, I really want to get to... And this is just, he founded PayPal. He kind of all know Peter Thiel. He wants people to get out of college and stop going to college and get a more meritocratic... He wants to really save millennials and... Well, millennials can't be saved. He wants to save younger Gen Zers. Isn't that funny? You can't save millennials. It's too late for them. It's stage 4 cancer. Terribly sorry. So yeah, I would definitely like to talk to or listen to him. Would probably be a better way to put it. So then the next one, Genesis P-Orridge. Google. This is P-Orridge. I didn't even know if this would come up. Genesis. Oh my God. Whoa. 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 You can't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, you can. You can. You actually can. You may not be right, but you'll probably be right, and you can. Okay, Genesis P-Orridge. Let's get a little bit of background on this individual. Born Neil Andrew Megson, February 1950. Is an English singer, songwriter, musician, poet, performing artist, and occultist. Okay, none of those are real jobs unless you actually make a lot of money on them or make some money on them. You can support yourself with them. This person probably sounds like it, but in general, it's kind of like, I'm going to start a like another British guy, Tony Blair. The only real work that Tony Blair had in his life was running a band. But it's like, well, how serious were you about that? Were you just trying to avoid work? So if you're a Matt Baldoni, okay, you're a real musician. You actually make money. If you're Prince, God rest his soul, you're a real musician. The guy in Slayer, that's a real musician. But if you're just thinking, I'm going to do poetry slams, I'm going to be a writer, and you don't make money. But this guy did. After rising in notability as the co-founder of the COUM Transmissions Artistic Collective, then fronting the industrial band Throbbing Gristle, P-Orridge was a founding member of Three Temple of Psychic Youth, a cult group, and fronted the experimental band Psychic TV. P-Orridge identifies as third gender. Sure you do. Born in Manchester, P-Orridge developed an early interest in art, occultism, and the avant-garde while at the Solihull School. After dropping out of studies at the University of Hull, he moved into a countercultural commune in London, adopted Genesis P-Orridge as his nom de jour. On returning to Hull, P-Orridge founded Communications Transmissions with, and in 1973, they located the London's Calms confrontational performance work dealing with such subjects as sex work, pornography, serial killers, and occultism. Represented a concerted attempt to challenge societal norms. You could tell one of his fanboys wrote this because it reads like a university class description. Attracted the attention of national press. Calm's 1976 prostitution show at London's Institute of Contemporary Arts was particularly vilified by tabloids, gaining them the moniker of the Wreckers of Civilization. Are these the same guys who did like Clockwork Orange? Because that was such an overrated show and it was weird. Grew on Kermit active in 1978 as pioneers in the industrial music genre. 1981, P-Orridge founded Psychic TV, an experimental band that from 1988 onward. Does he have a net worth? I just want to know if this person made money. Because if they made money, then I'm going to call it a real job. Founded this band, did this cult, had this project. I worked as a construction dude, worked as a laborer. Just trying to figure out something a little bit more up to date. Through the use of surgical body modification to physically resemble one another. Oh, him and his. Okay, here we go. P-Orridge married Jacqueline Mary Breyer, later known as Lady J, on Friday the 13th of June 1995. And together they embarked on the Pandrogyny Project, an attempt to unite as a pandrogyne or single entity through the use of surgical body modification to physically resemble one another. P-Orridge continued with this project of body modification. They say modification, let's just call it is mutilation. After Lady Jane's death in 2007. Well, that's too bad she passed away. Although involved in reunions of both Throbbing Gristle and Psychic TV into 2000, P-Orridge retired from music to focus on other artistic mediums in 2009. P-Orridge is credited with over 200 releases. Okay, are they good? Did they sell? Controversial, heavily criticized British propaganda, and avant-garde art. Okay, did he sell? Here's the thing. Did the dude collect a government check? No. Legitimate work. Is he trying to get government grants and all this and that, like pretty much every other artist out there? Not legitimate work. Alright. Childhood. Born in Neil, Megson, Victoria Park in the city of Manchester. And Ronald and Muriel Megson. Ronald was a traveling salesman who had worked in repertory theater. He played drums in the local jazz and dance bands. Muriel was from Salford and had first met Ronald after he returned to England after becoming injured with the British Army at the Battle of Dunkirk in 1940. Ronald's dad was served his interests. As a child, had a good relationship with parents who did not interfere with artistic. Due to Ronald's job, the family moved to Essex, where Pure studied Staples Point Infant. At that time, led a caravan near Big Spring where the family house was being completed. The family moved to Essex to Cheshire, northwest England, attended Gately Primary School, scholarship. After the father gained employment as Midlands area manager of a cleaning and maintenance business. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it came from money. Doesn't sound like it came from money. So, he doesn't get a point there. And Worm. Hull University. Okay, here. P-Orridge began studying for a degree in social administration and philosophy. Okay, so what does he need social administration for if he's going to become a popular musician, a successful musician? Maybe not popular, but successful. Right there, that tells me he had no intention of ever working a real job. And like Tony Blair, makes me wonder if his attempt to go into art and theater, or music and theater, was a legitimate one or just work avoidance. So he gets a point for that. He does get a point for coming from poverty or blue collar. He did drop out credit there, and he went on to do. Let's talk about calm found transmissions. Hitchhiked across Britain before settling down. New home in Shrewsbury here, as a volunteer as a clerk. Oh, and Ronald Magson's new business. Well, okay, you're working for your dad. That's not that's not real job. That's not real work. So you don't have real work there. On the family trip to Wales, back at the car, then became disembodied and heard voices, and he saw the calm symbol and heard the words calm transmission. Filled 3 notebooks with artistic thoughts and ideas influenced with the time. So, all right, what is this? I want to see if this is a collective operating in the United Kingdom. Ooh, the Dada artistic movement. Okay, that's got nice little touch connections with socialism. Prominent members, part-time member, rotating memberships. Exhibited lenses and culture of prostitution. It's not foundation. Yeah, okay, this sounds like a cult. I'm just wondering where the money came to finance the cult. The commune members adhere to a strict regime within the intention of deconditioning its members out of their routines and conventional behavior. They were forbidden from sleeping in the same place on consecutive nights. Food was cooked at irregular times of the day, and all clothing was kept in a communal chest with its members wearing sometimes something different on each day. P-Orridge stayed there for 3 months until late October of 1969, when he decided to leave. He was angered that the commune's leaders were given more rights than the other members. Well, you go for that communist shit. Believe that the group lacked an interest in music. Yeah. Parents. Okay, he went back home. Volunteered. Just bear with me, guys. Oh wait, look at this. Look at all the old Captain. You guys think I don't put it together. Com's earliest public events were impromptu musical gigs performed at various pubs around Hull. Titles for these events included 3 Fabulous Mutations, Space Between the Violins, Dead Violins, and Integration of the Clockwork Hot Spoiled Acid Test. The later combined the names of Anthony Burgess's dystopian science fiction novel Clockwork Orange. Yeah, you just know there's not anything good going on. Yeah, psychedelic drugs. Such insurance broker band. I'm just trying to find out where the fucking money came from. Okay, it sounds like none of this. You know what? Until I see someone say, no, dude, all I hear about this guy is that he's a cultist, he's a weirdo, and he made some really out there music, which I'm all fine with. What I can't figure out, and this is the body of his work, was it legit? Was he constantly living off of his old man or government grant? Somebody tell me. It's not listed here. It tells you what these cults and these troops and entities did, but based on the total work avoidance I hear and read about what these people are doing in theater and what I know about theater and how much you guys over in the UK love socialism, he didn't come from money, but he sure the fuck didn't work. And until I find out that this was like money that people willingly forked over, like Guar, and we want to talk about industrial, KMFDM, they made their own money. Right? There are musicians that make their own money. He's never had a real job, and he continues not to have a real job. And I bet you 80% of the money he's ever gotten, 80% of the checks were ultimately financed by the UK taxpayer. Could be totally wrong. Somebody tell me. I can't find it here. I don't want to spend 10 hours doing a Clarey podcast and charge this poor bastard that. But as it stands so far, did not come from wealth. Okay, cool. Does he have any real world working experience? Not apparent. No, not really. Did he major in stupid shit? Yes, he did. And then, what is he doing now? Well, he's retired, but he never really worked anyway. So, what is he, a pensioner living off the taxpayers again? That could all change. That all change if all say, oh no, dude, he was like Prince, you know, like oh yeah, people totally paid to see his, like, did people line up? Did they sell tickets, or did they like, we're gonna put up our flyers, man, we're gonna be over at the University of Worcestershire, which is a town in the United Kingdom, you just don't know where it is. Yeah, then he gets a solid 3. Would I want to have a beer with him? Fuck no. Now, if it was all money, oh fuck yeah, then I'd love to. Okay, yeah, you're like the United Kingdom's prince, all right, but he frankly sounds like a body mutilating millennial. I have no interest in having a beer with him, none. So, all right, there you guys go. You guys got questions? Cappy's got answers. AssholeConsulting.com. We'll see you kids later. Toodles.